Hello, caregivers and friends. This is Val Halloway, and today I'm going to take you on a journey back in time to 3 overnight retreats I've taken. The first one was about 15 years ago, and it was at a retreat center near my home where I packed my bag and went to spend the night by myself in a place set aside for quiet and prayer and listening. The second one was about a year ago. It was a wonderful three-day retreat in Sedona, Arizona, and probably the biggest and best gift I've ever given to myself. And then the third retreat was just a few months ago. It was a fantastic 3 days with a small group of women in the Catskill Mountains, organized by 2 thoughtful and gifted Reiki practitioners. In this episode, I'll share about the transforming power of these retreats. I learned about practicing the presence of God, the soul theory, and more about Reiki. Now I know not everyone has the time or resources to get away, but the caregiver life is stressful, and it's vital to take some time for yourself. One dear friend feels refreshed with quiet time at home, a big mug of coffee, and a Hallmark movie. Another friend is in a time of her life where watching her children perform in a play or athletic event or helping them move to a new apartment is what she cherishes. I love these things too, but I know myself, and getting away from my familiar environment and meeting new people renews my energy and it gives me strength. Albert Einstein says, "We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them." So discovering a different way of thinking is what my retreats were all about. A turning point came in my life with the realization that today is all we have. 15 years ago, my husband of 25 years passed away from recurring leukemia. He was 52 and had lived a full life. With his passing, I awoke to the reality that there's so very little I have control over, and to think otherwise is just kidding myself. At that moment, my life had changed forever, and there was too much to think about. I was spiraling down when I remembered one of my EBT skills, and I shared about EBT in episode 1 of season 1. That when spiraling down, it's like a tornado, and the most important thing you can do is to pull yourself out of it. And I did that by finding a place I could go for a couple of days to get away from everything at home and ponder my new life. I found a Catholic retreat center a few hours from my home that had overnight rooms for the purpose of retreat and a person on staff who could give guidance. I packed my bag and brought my Bible and the book I mentioned in episode 2 of this season called Celebration of Discipline. The person on staff was calm and friendly, and she showed me to my warm and inviting room. She suggested I read the book Practicing the Presence of God by Brother Lawrence, and she left a copy for me. She offered to meet with me to pray and discuss what I discovered if that would be helpful. The little book was exactly what I needed at the time. As I think back, the story I remember from that book was about how Brother Lawrence felt that when people from the village were complaining about something he had done, God revealed to him that it was not his job to defend his actions and try to change their minds. Once he lifted the situation to God, he had done what he could do, and it was best to move on. God would take care of his reputation. Well, it was time for me to move on from things I had no control over and couldn't change. Taking time away helped me return home with a better frame of mind and a new outlook going forward. The year of April 2022 to April 2023 was probably the most stress-filled year of my life. I started and quit a new job. My 30-year-old son and my 93-year-old father passed away, and a 10-year marriage that was a blessing for a time had ended. As my counselor recently told me, I had been dealt a tough hand of cards. And it was tough. And I'm grateful for the amazing support from family and friends during that year. But I needed to move forward on my own. I lay in bed one night and I wondered, where do I go from here? How do I heal from this tremendous grief? And then words came to my mind. What I need is a retreat to get back on my feet. I searched those exact words on the internet, and the Sedona Soul Adventure came up. I'd been to Sedona before, and I knew it to be an unusually beautiful and special place. The truth is that I would have loved to take this retreat with my son before he passed away. But it wasn't what he wanted, and I couldn't make it happen without him. So a couple years later, when the opportunity came for me to go, I said yes, and I made the call. I had to make arrangements for my own lodging and meals, but the Sedona Soul Adventure staff provided guidance and interviewed me so they could have a sense of what I needed and what I wanted from my experience. I chose a 3-day program, and they set up a schedule for me. I would meet individually with 2 practitioners each day, and before the retreat started, I had a video appointment with a life coach to set out my soul intentions. Mine included the following. I am living fully and trusting as my life unfolds as it should. I am accepting of and healing from all the loss I've experienced this past year. I'm allowing myself to grieve the loss of my son, knowing it was his time to go. I'm taking necessary steps to rid my body of harmful emotions and physical pain. And finally, I am feeling balance with my desired success and being nurturing to myself and my family. I felt safe and loved through all the sessions, and I would do it all over again. So much happened that I can't begin to share about it all, but I do want to tell you about one of the practitioners' theories about our soul. She believes souls choose to be born into a human life in order to grow and change. The soul chooses the challenges it will have. At the conscious level, we would never, ever choose these traumas, but the soul chooses this to evolve, to overcome the trauma, and find spiritual peace and joy, even through the tragedies. It's hard for me to understand this theory, but she believes my soul chose my life, as did my son's, and my husband's souls chose theirs. This retreat helped me to see the tragedies in my life in a new way. It helped me to see the importance of taking time to overcome and clear the grief and all that is blocking love in my life. I had helpful follow-up sessions with my coach. My soul is finding peace and joy in a new way that I did not have before, and I'm grateful. And now on to my most recent retreat. It was organized by 2 Reiki practitioners to give their clients a place to heal their troubled hearts in the presence of other caring women. Reiki is a Japanese technique for stress reduction and relaxation that promotes energy healing. It's a spiritual practice that focuses on life force energy flowing through us. Reiki practitioners assist in clearing blockages to restore balance by placing their hands on or near a person, but it can also be done from a distance. One of the suggestions from my Sedona Soul Retreat was to find a Reiki practitioner back home for me to continue to receive healing energy. I found Amy, a warm and inspiring Reiki master and guided meditation leader. As I said earlier, retreats are not for everyone, but this gathering together of 8 like-minded souls at a yoga retreat center in the Catskill Mountains was wonderful. We had daily yoga sessions, hiked mountain trails, ate clean food, shared our stories, and took time to breathe and clear our energy. This time gave me the confidence to get writing on my scripts for Caregiver Tea Time. And here we are. Wow, This concludes my first 11 podcasts, and I have just 5 to go to complete the 4 seasons of Caregiver Tea Time that I envisioned at the start. A year ago, I could never have imagined doing what I'm doing and creating what I've created. I could not have done it without taking the time to step back and reflect and receive encouragement from others and trust that my life is unfolding just as it should. And I trust yours is too. My special message is this: have you ever wondered what your soul came here to accomplish? If you feel something is holding you back from your soul finding joy and peace, the love and support you need is out there. I know this to be true. I also know that life is not one big party of peace and joy, although it sure is fun once it gets started. I still have times of quiet and tears almost every day. This just makes the peace and joy all the more wonderful. What an amazing soul adventure this has been. Cheers to that! Nothing but the good things, nothing but the good things in this world, living in my heart. Nothing but the good things, nothing but the good things in this world, living in my heart. Living in my heart. Living in my heart. Caregiver Tea Time was recorded at the Coop Studio, Irvington, New York. Engineered by Sammy Wags and produced by Bianca Grooves.